Hey, welcome back to the Cooking Pros. This week we are going to make Detroit-style deep dish pizza. Now, Detroit-style deep dish pizza, thank you, is known for coming in a square form with really crispy, cheesy edges. Very simple, so let's just get started. Our ingredients are 2 cups of flour. I'm using all-purpose here. You could use bread flour is fine. I have 1 tablespoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of sugar, 1 teaspoon of this instant fast-rising yeast, and 1 cup of water. All right, so I'll go ahead and take my 2 cups of flour. It's probably a little bit more than 2 cups of flour. I'll add my teaspoon of yeast. I will add my tablespoon of salt, and I will add my teaspoon of sugar. Stick it on this. Okay, dude. KitchenAid, just for a couple minutes to blend those pieces up, or all the dry ingredients up. Then add a cup of warm water, slowly. And we'll let this go until a ball forms. If you still see that it's sticking a little bit, just go ahead and add a little bit more flour. Once the dough turns into a ball, as you can see here, this probably could use a little bit more flour. Go ahead and put it on a floured surface so we can start kneading it. Flour your hands if you need to. It's going to be kind of soft, that's okay. Okay, so I finished kneading the dough and I formed it into a ball. So I'm going to go ahead and just oil the inside of a bowl, like so. Now go ahead and just place this in the bowl. I will cover it with a kitchen towel. And I'm going to stick it in the oven. The oven's off, but I'm going to just stick it in the oven for 2 hours to let it rise. For building the pizza, we have a 9x13 baking sheet. It's about 1 inch or so thick. We have some cheese. This is a blend of mozzarella and provolone. Of course, it's pizza, so you have your whatever toppings you want. I have some pizza sauce, some pepperoni. This is garlic and butter. And here's some artichoke hearts and some fresh oregano. Of course, it's pizza. Do whatever you like. So pizza is about doubled in size. It's been a couple hours. Right here, I have this 9x13 inch baking sheet. I'm just going to butter it up really good. This is going to help it get it out because there's going to be that cheese all the way to the end and you just want to make it easy to get out. So I'm just going to butter this up really good. You could use oil if you want. I like the flavor of the butter on the crust, so I'm going to add that here. And then add the dough to this buttered pan. And you're just going to kind of try to shape it to get to the size of your pan. As you're stretching it out, you may notice that it doesn't want to stay all the way in the corners. Just let the pizza rest for about 5 or 10 minutes. And as the dough rests, it should be able to go to the corners. I like to put a little bit of garlic butter on the crust before I add anything. I think this just adds a lot of good flavor. We'll spread that out nice and evenly around the dough. I go ahead and I put down the pepperoni first, right on that garlic butter. This will allow the dough to not get full of the moisture from the sauce. If you're not doing pepperoni, you could just do your cheese first. Then we'll add the cheese. And again, you want to go all the way up to the edges. Three rows of pizza sauce. on top of the cheese. That I'll add some of these artichoke hearts. Again, you can add whatever you'd like. A little bit more cheese. And a few more pepperoni. Now I've preheated the oven to 500 degrees, and I'm going to stick this in there for about 12 to 15 minutes. I'm just going around the edges to make sure nothing's sticking. And then I want to get it out of this pan, so kind of finish it so it's not cooking any longer. You can see it's got that crispy, cheesy edge, right? Looks like my yeast was getting a little bit rough. It didn't rise as much as it usually does, but it still looks really good. But yeah, Detroit deep dish pizza. What do you think, Kos?
The best part about making pizza is eating it.